Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games. We have Michael on a Rhinos, Matt on a Rug Delver build. Extremely well. Very major event, which name escapes me right now. I'm sure someone can let me know in the comments. Very large Magic Online event. Also top-aided land event. W with a very similar list, if not the same list. Dragon Rage Channeler dipping in there. Lorien Revealed. Island Cycle. Basic land's going to be important in this matchup as Rug Delver is kind of at its best when it's able to set a clock, stop you from getting too far ahead with your mana. Daze becomes a really strong card at that point. If you're not able to pester your opponent's mana base, a lot of the time, Daze kind of needs to be used in conjunction with a second Daze, making it significantly worse. Counter stuff on curve. Absolutely one of the best counters in Legacy. That would be an interesting thought exercise in terms of what the top 5 are for count. Could go by total number played. Certainly a criteria. But Force of Will, Daze, Force of Negation, certainly toward the top of the list. And flipping off the top thanks to this Violent Outburst, finding the Crashing Footfalls. That's what this deck is designed to do. At the Force of Will, stop the Crashing Footfalls. And Daze going into the bin. Not looking to draw that card. Not sure how I actually feel about that. That's an interesting decision. Being able to cascade on your opponent's turn, so strong. Put them in a situation where they just have to have back-to-back answers. And here's a Minskin Boo. Talk about needing answers. This guy will take over the game if that's allowed. Like a force pitching Vapor Snag. Getting a polluted Delta out of the way. Down to perhaps just one card. Storm. Dragon Rage Channeler just doing work. Getting stuff out of the way. Certainly these lands, they gotta go. Daze was an interesting decision point. Of course, Brainstorm able to put 2 back. Got a fetch land to shuffle. There's Dragon Rage to be able to bin cards that are on top of the library. Just so many decisions now. Delver strategies. Still just one? Wow. Yeah, just land instant sorcery. Needs to find a creature to put into the graveyard. And a very quick Rhinos while I was actually looking away. Was that ticking down? Yeah, it must have been ticking down off screen. Barely room for that at the top of the playmat. Questing Druid. It's countered by Mystical Dispute. And Mishra's Bauble wins a Pyroblast, main deck Pyroblast. I'm pretty sure this is game 1. The only card we've seen that would make me question that. Crashing Footfalls. This time off of Shardless Agent. Sorcery Speed, so not as exciting, but it is also a body. Got Lightning Bolt upstairs. And another lightning bolt, but Michael's actually at 9, so that would put him to 3. So I think that was just demonstrating that he didn't have the reach there. A single extra bolt, not enough. It would need to be 2 more bolts. Bobblehead, given Matt the delirium needed. I think it's delirium. Or Dragon Rage Channeler. Cycling. Dorian revealed off of this wasteland. That's the Lord of the Rings version. Pretty remarkable the amount of cards, just like quality cards, that Rhinos is able to run with this huge deck building restriction that Shardless Agent and friends impose on the deck building process. I mean, it's things that you think of as the best cards in the format, potentially Brainstorm, Ponder, Daze. Not running any of those. Consistently hit either your Rhinos or, in some matchups, Inevitable Betrayal card that you can cascading into. Happily getting 4 card types into his graveyard here quickly with this Ponder and keeping. So this is looking good. Brazen Borrower, bouncing the Dragon Rage. That's actually going to get dazed. That's rough. Chipping in there, just going to look to consistently push through damage. Fire Ice trying to tap down. That's kind of a decision maker. I mean, you can daze it, but it's not super exciting. Almost like you're totally fine with it if your opponent does daze your Fire Ice. Daze out of their hand. Gonna need 3 mana to begin the cascade. That will leave him vulnerable to daze if Matt has it. Here we go. Oh, right off the top. And he has to force back. Pyroblast stops the Force of Will. In the driver's seat here, winning that counter battle. Daze and Force. Lining up much, much better for Matt. Pyroblast. So basically 2 cards and 1 mana. Trades so favorably. A couple of Wastelands are fired off, but that's pretty far ahead. Endurance. Looking to really mess up the situation here. So Endurance will go away, but it won't be able to block. It's actually just going to get rid of Matt's graveyard. Oh, he's going to Force a Will this. And a final Endurance. So this was actually pushed through. Endurance is actually getting rid of the graveyard. Shardless Agent does win in combat versus the Dragon Rage Channeler, but Delver of Secrets still looking to flip. Michael, just a Shardless Agent. 9 points of life. Opts not to attack. This is a terrible situation no matter what. I think he actually wins that race. Swinging first, but that's if nobody does anything for the entire game. Delver very likely to flip. Questing Druid finds just runner beauties. Got everything going right for Matt now. Force of Will revealed for Delver. Able to play a Dragon Rage Channeler and Unholy Heat off of his Questing Druid. That Druid's going to be looking to show up and mostly just throw moral support in. It looks like the air superiority is going to be enough to close this game out with Delver and Dragon Rage Channeler. I don't even know if Rhino showing up now even makes a difference. Fire Ice. Again, one of those cards. Doesn't feel like you should be able to play it in a Cascade deck, but you can. And that's going to do it. Matt picking up game 2. This is a hard-fought one so far. Mostly what these strategies are supposed to do. This is a good demonstration of both the Rhinos list and Rug Delver. The only thing I would say is we really haven't seen the Questing Druid go up and start adding counters. Not sure how good that side of the card ends up being. Gonna quest to replace Expressive Iteration for quite some time. Delver of Secrets in a firefight here with Mystical Dispute. Dispute wins that battle. But Expressive Iteration was really, I think, the strongest Delver had been since the ability to run the original Delve cards. You know, Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time were really something else when those were in Legacy. But Expressive Iteration, the Dragon Rage out, felt an awful lot like a Dig Through Time. Red side of Questing Druid was an effort to replace it, but if the other half of it doesn't work out, I don't know that that card's actually going to be strong enough. Question of adding those counters. And I want it to work out. I mean, Queer and Dryad, one of my favorite Magic cards of all time. Do enjoy the little language game that Magic has in development. Queer and Dryad, QD, Questing Druid, QD. They do stuff like that, which I appreciate. The nod to the history of the game. A consistent feel. Go, Rhino time. He's attempting to stop this Crashing Footfalls. Some things are worth fighting over. We've got a Force of Will and a Force Back. Resources all trading. However, this go around is actually a body to show for it, so that may be a difference maker. Game a real war of attrition so far. Rage Channeler. Of turn, Brazen Borrower, bouncing it. Tempo play. Another Shardless Agent. Thought we were going to see end step Brazen Borrower. Instead, Michael jams. And I actually didn't follow. Oh, there must be another Spirit Guide pitch to pay for days. That's got to be where that Spirit Guide came from. Oh, no. Days has been so strong this whole time. That's a real gotcha moment. Dragon Rage has to attack here. They 3/3. That is it. Hard fought one.